and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble, your astrologer and tarot reader, here with your readings for July the 1st through July the 7th. These readings come in three sections, guys. First the intro, then the astrology report, and then the tarot reading. And there will be skip times if you're checking out your sun, moon and rising in the show more section below. So look out for that. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get all the links to the other videos down there, but check them out. These are general readings, guys. Please don't assume that everything I say here is applicable to you. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you would like a personal, more tailored reading for you, go to my website. And the link to my website is below, and just check out the kind of readings that I offer. Firstly, I want to really apologize for last week. I only got I think it was eight readings out. And I got some tragic and shocking news. I recently interviewed a wonderful astrologer, Dan First, and we recorded the interview on June the 13th, and we plan to release it on the 1st, right before the eclipse. But unfortunately, he passed away on Sunday, June the 23rd. So I just didn't have it in me to do the readings. I was deeply saddened, and I'm very upset about that loss. Anyway, I'm sorry. Out of respect, I asked his family permission to release it as we agreed upon, the time that Dan and I had agreed upon. He was excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's really a great subject. He was an astrocartographer. So check that out on Sunday night. Monday night, Monday the 1st of July. It's 6:15. It'll be released as a premiere, so I will be attending and watching with you, and I can answer questions during it. So a big thank you to Dan's family for allowing me to do that, and honor him, because he was such a lovely soul. So what else? If you haven't joined my Facebook group, the link is below. Join the Facebook group. Every 2 weeks I do a live at 5, and I do a little astrology, and then afterwards, I have my cards and I answer questions, and we have a great time. So join that group, and I'm doing live at 5 tomorrow. That's Monday, the 1st of July, just before the premiere of Dan First's interview. So join me. So let's, without further ado, let's go to your astrology report, shall we? And before I go, happy World Pride. New York is buzzing with pride and love and colour. It's so wonderful. So happy Pride to everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome to the astrology section of your reading. And so much is happening this week. It is wild and crazy. Starting off on Monday, the 1st of July, Mars, the planet of passion and action and courage, is moving into Leo. Also courage, passion, fire, and open heart. So this is a really big shift in energy, and we're probably feeling it on Sunday. It's like it's about, saying what you mean. It's about being passionate. It's about taking action. It's about moving forward. It's about being heart-centered. And so that's a lovely energy. We just have to be careful. There's, of course, fire, there's two sides to passion. Fire is that wonderful sensual passion, and then there's that angry passion, right? So we have to be aware of that for some of us. Now, where it happens in your chart depends on how it affects you. If you would like to know more about that and would like a personal reading, you can go to my website and book a reading with me that can give you some more insight on how that will affect you and all the other aspects that are happening this week. Now, the big news is this total solar eclipse in Cancer. And it's very powerful. It's that Cancer, Capricorn kind of energy that's going to play out through to 2020. Now, this is a beautiful, it's all about our home, right? Because Cancer's about home, it's about nurturing, it's about family, it's about our roots. So it's all about what's going on at home. Now, eclipses are about change. They shake things up. Sometimes there's a little fear there for some of us because the inevitable happens when an eclipse comes into play. And we have this beautiful relationship going on at the same time with Neptune, right? So Neptune is in a trine to this eclipse. And also, this is, a total solar eclipse. So this is a new moon. These are new beginnings. So depending on where it lands in your chart, of course, it's in Cancer. So Cancers are going to feel different. They're going to come out. They're going to be renewed. This is happening in their first house of their identity, who they are. What's happening for them, what's changing within you. It happens with each sign in a different house, so it happens in a different way to each person. Now, we have, it's going to be about relationships for Cancer because we've got Saturn, the planet of lessons, structure, and rules, is opposite. Right? So this is bringing in some, sometimes these lessons aren't pleasant, but they need to happen. They need to happen for us to grow, and we need to grow. So we will be looking at perhaps, or especially Cancers, will be looking at relationships. What relationships do we need to repair? What relationships no longer serve for us? What behaviors no longer serve us? What is it that's holding us back? So it's really a time of self-reflection. It's also, a time of taking care of ourselves. Are we getting enough sleep? Are we getting enough nutrients? Are we getting enough exercise? Those kind of things, we need to really look at ourselves, and are we taking care of ourselves during this time? We need to nurture ourselves, right? So eclipses can have a little fear because change, nobody likes change. And so and things happen in a way sometimes that are disconcerting. But if we can embrace that change and we can really see, it's kind of karmic too, because, Saturn is the Lord of karma, right? So this is whatever has been at play for a while is going to kind of come out, and we're going to be forced to look at some things about ourselves and about our relationships. Or, if you are a Taurus, it's going to be about finances, and so on. So, Gemini about communication. And so anyway, I'm not going to go into the actual details on each sign, but it is a huge and powerful eclipse. Now, we really need to raise our vibration during this time and really take notice of our internal dialogue, and don't let us criticize ourselves, drop it. If we notice that, we need to change that. We need to have the highest vibration at this time to get us through. And meditation, if you're into it, is wonderful for that, for raising our vibration. Now, the next big thing is on Sunday, the 7th, when Mercury stations retrograde. Yes, darling, every summer Mercury goes retrograde. And here it is again. So it is in Leo at the moment, and it is about to backtrack. And by the mid-month, I think it'll be in Cancer yet again. This is always a time of reflection, right? When Mercury goes retrograde, it's a time to go in. It's a time to look at ourselves. It's a time to reorganize, regroup, get our ducks in a row, and get all our ducks in a row, because we need to be ready to go forward. It's not like you stop doing anything. You know, Mercury rules electronics. It's the intellect. It's important to look at how we communicate and you know, reflect on what changes that we can make going forward. Organize, you know, reorganize, you know. Listen, I always say declutter the mind is meditation, right? Declutter your home. You know, do things, work with the energies. When you work with the energy of a planet, you it's like having a little motor in your back, and you know, it's like going from a rowboat to a motorboat. Right? That's what we want. We want to be propelled by the universe. We want to work with the energies of the universe to get our life forward, to move forward more productively and happily, ultimately happily, right? And we'll be moving up to a lunar eclipse mid-month, and I'll talk about that probably in the next astrological report. So without further ado, guys, let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your tarot card section of your reading. And one last, what are we doing here? One last shuffle. Okay. Sagittarius. What wonderful gifts, blessings, guidance, and helpful information can you give Sagittarius this coming week? 3 cards for Sagittarius, please. 3 cards for Sagittarius. 2 more cards for Sagittarius. Oh, 1 more card for Sagittarius. Wow. That's 1. That's 2. 1 more card for Sagittarius, please. 1 more card for Sagittarius. 1 more card. Oh, there it is. Oh. Okay. Sagittarius. It's interesting. This card's come up a lot, and it doesn't surprise me. So do check out your sun, moon, and rising. There are many crossovers here. Okay. Please clarify. There it is. Please clarify. Okay. Please clarify. Oh! Okay. Here are your cards, Sagittarius. The first card out for you is the 7 of Swords, which has been coming up a lot, which doesn't surprise me. Then you have the Strength card, the King of Wands, the 10 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Death card, which doesn't surprise me with the eclipse, right? Okay, so this doesn't surprise me with the eclipse, the 7 of Swords. It's about seeing the truth in a situation. Somebody is being nefarious, perhaps you're in denial, you're not seeing the truth. Always in an eclipse, something is brought to light, right? Brought to our attention, something that we need to address, that we've perhaps been not addressing and not taking care of. It's very important to do that. And look, we have the Strength card clarifying it. So your strength is in kindness and compassion. So it's about being, if you're in denial, it's about being kind and compassionate with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't judge yourself. And if someone else is lying to you, you know, you have to address it in a diplomatic and kind way. The next card up is the King of Wands. And he is like, he's the party guy, right? He's a brilliant leader when guided spiritually. So you're being asked to be spiritually guided. Now, the eclipse is happening in your house of transformation, in the 8th house. So it's about death and rebirth, right? So it's interesting that you have the Death card that's coming up in a bit. But this is about, look, when he comes up, he can be a little impulsive, the king, and he can be a little self-serving. So you're being asked to put spirituality first. You know, have faith and trust in your belief system, whatever that is. And look, clarifying this is the 10 of Cups. That's happy endings. This is all your needs being met. This is being guided spiritually and not forcing something. So whatever situation is being brought to your attention, it's dealing with it, but dealing with it in a spiritual way, doing the right thing for the right reason. And, you know, ultimately it's going to be happy for you. It's going to be a good thing that you deal with this. You know, I always think of Mars as this too. You know, Mars is on the move, isn't it? So I always think about Mars. This is having the courage to handle whatever it is that you have to handle. And Mars is going to bring in the courage and being heart-centered, right? It's going into Leo. So the next card you have is the Hierophant, and that is trusting. Going to your faith, that's going to carry you through these changes and these difficult times. And look, you've got the Death card. That's an internal transformation. This is you coming out of this situation reborn, if you will. This is about you changing. I mean, really at a fundamental cellular level. This is about you coming out reborn, a different person, and all under the guise of your faith, going back to that, trusting that things are happening for a reason, for a reason that you can't even imagine, for your higher good, and for that of all those around you. Trust and have faith, because you are going to get the happy ending. But just look at the truth, darling. Look at what's going on. Acknowledge it. And acknowledge it with kindness and compassion. Sagittarius, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, or on social media would be great. And comment. I live for comments and feedback. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week, or perhaps sooner. If you're in my Facebook group,